captured the imagination of not only the Victorian but Australia-wide. I mean, this fixture on many wide. I mean, this.
South Melbourne. This match could be an early chance here for South Melbourne. This match managed to get away with the follow-up header, and now Ruben Way into the fix. But managed to get away with the follow-up header, and now Ruben Way into the fix. Now it's Dom Fowler. Shepherd playing a playmaking role. Likes to get the ball into his feet and create. Theodoropoulos trying to feed it through for Josh Pearce. See Heidelberg really up for this one. The way they're flying into challenges. There's quite a few points between these two sides on the table, Arthur, but sometimes that goes out the window in a derby game.
No, it's as far as I can remember, of teams have been in opposite ends of the table, and the derby seems to bring out the magic in the game as South go forward and corner given. Yes, it just brings out, like I said, the passion of both supporters, and no doubt the best two of the best back clubs in Victoria, along with the Knights, obviously.
Will be taken by Max Mikola, who's taken charge of most of the set-piece duties this season for South Melbourne. Two arms up from him, fires it into the 6-yard box. Sawyer's the obvious target. Brendan White forced into the punch. South have been so dominant off set-pieces this season. That's their, I guess, primary route to goal, and it's been so effective.
Yeah, the only time they weren't effective was the game against Oakley. Oakley had them measured out to perfection. And as White gets the ball, Oakley had really done their homework on them, and that obviously was the first and only loss they've had because of it.
If you can stop them at dead balls, maybe you can block the likes of Sawyer.
And such a tall team as well.
Got such a massive physical advantage over most opposition. Heidelberg may be one of the few teams who can match it with them physically in terms of height and strength.
Yeah, any team that George Katsakis coaches will always have that physical aspect and, never say die aspect. He was like that as a player, and he's certainly like that as a coach.
Always know you're in for a tough day. A few bruises tomorrow after playing against a George Katsakis side. Sawyer flicks it on. Webb feeding it through. Midfield runner is Josh Wallen, but Federhajic cleans it up at the back, and White is able to clear.
Seems to be a bit of a gap between that midfield at the moment for Heidelberg. They need to try and maybe push their way forward in numbers, because too much of a gap between the defence and the midfield there for the Heidelberg going forward.
Could be something that South Melbourne can exploit. They do like to play the ball into Sawyer, and then the runners, the attacking midfield players, sort of feast off those knockdowns.
I think the next few minutes will obviously be both teams feeling each other out.
Probably switch out to Max Mikola. Can go one-on-one with Nicolaitis here. So he plays the early ball, looking for Sawyer. Webb is waiting for the flick on. Knocked down. Instead, it's flicked towards Langlois. Federhajic clears, and now Webb fouling. I think it was Dom Fowler on the far side. Long one into the channel. Brad Norton can only see it out for a Heidelberg throw.
Some indifferent results for Heidelberg the last few weeks. They seem to be just clawing their way back up the table after a lot of injuries at the start of the year. And but just that point last week, they really maybe held them back a little. Lucky to get the equaliser in the end.
Lofted. Too far for Ruben Way, but chases it down. Has to make space on his left foot, had to stretch and slide. And the ball had already crossed the line. South Melbourne goal kick.
We're past the halfway mark of the year now. And Josh, what do you think? It's at the moment we've got a battle between that top three teams, Port Melbourne, South Melbourne and Oakley seem to be the teams that are really, along with even Bentley, seem to be the teams that are sort of favoured to go on with it.
Bentley is an interesting one. They went through a fantastic run of form, won 5 or 6 games on the bounce, and then they suffered a few injuries to their forward players, and they just had no out-and-out striker to put in the team, and it was a real tough hole for Bentley to fill, and dipped a little bit since then, but I think once those players do come back from injury, the likes of Pierce Waring is so important for them. Jordy Vanderland, their Dutch import, has gone back home after his serious injury, unfortunately. Nicolaitis can't keep it in play. I guess the disappointment this season has been Avondale. Based on the squad they've got on paper, they've underachieved so far.
Yeah, but I mean, as we said, it's only halfway, and things can obviously change, and change quickly. There's a long way to go, as they say in the classics. But having a 3-goal lead and letting that slip is definitely something that they wouldn't have been happy about.
It's a massive boost for South Melbourne, not just the points, but also mentally. Harry Sawyer feels he deserved a free kick for that. Play goes on. Shepherd.
In the box, it's in. No! Great save there, Lopez. Very good save there, Josh. What they need to do, get behind that defence.
It was an early ball forward. They were quick in transition, weren't they, Heidelberg? Forced a fantastic save out of Harvey Lopez, the best chance of the game so far, and it's gone the way of the underdog.
That's what we mean. These derbies always bring out the best in these teams, regardless of where they are on the ladder. Lopez, one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and that's why we see why that save was exceptional.
That's why they brought him across from Bentley Greens. Spaniard. Out to Franic. Delivers with his left. Federhajic attacking it. Just didn't get enough purchase on the header. What a chance.
That was a golden opportunity there. And all of a sudden, South Melbourne on the back foot. 2 chances there to the Burgers. And really, you'd have to say that really, he should have done better with that header. It was a free header.
2 golden opportunities in quick succession against one of the most sturdy defensive sides in the league. Will Heidelberg be left to rue those missed chances? Milan Roberts going into the book for that one.
It's a good positive way for the start of the game, though. Well, I mean, they're taking the game up to South Melbourne, and that's what they need to do in order to get a result today.
First yellow card of the afternoon, and it's for Malone Roberts for that aggressive aerial challenge on Liram El Mazi.
The fans weren't too happy about that one.
Come off the referee. Play goes on.
It's normally a drop ball, isn't it?
Depends on whether it changes the possession or not. Might have just dodged out of the way in time, but certainly very close to being involved in the action anyway. Was Adam Bathka.
A long throw again for South Melbourne. They used this against Oakley the other week. Very effective. It's almost as good as a cross.
Max Mikola gets some serious distance on those. And we've got two proponents of the long throw on the pitch today. Mikola being most notable, but Ruben Way can hurl it quite a distance as well if he's given the opportunity. And it will be Mikola to take the corner. Not much difference between a throw-in and a corner for him. Good delivery too. Milan Roberts heading away. Norton for the header. And it's Brad Norton off the crossbar.
What a great effort.
What a strike that was.
Claims for a free kick, but the referee allowed the play to go on. And Brendan White, don't know really if he seen it late or he wasn't expecting that to dip so quickly.
Just took a swing at it with his less favoured right boot and he caught it sweetly.
Bit of action here, Josh, early on.
Very absorbing encounter so far.
All the way back to Lopez. Lopez goes long. First time. The Burgers go forward. And a chance again. Good defending there by Jankovic. And again, cleared away. And Lopez somehow saves the ball again.
Oh, it was a good first piece of defending, as you say, Arthur, but they didn't manage to clear the rebound, and Owen Ashton was first to it. In the end, the shot was too close to Harvey Lopez. He did well to hold on to it, almost squirmed underneath him. Lovely footwork from Lira Melmazi, and a slightly cynical foul from Josh Pinn. Melmazi pumps the long diagonal. Mikola will get there and let it run. Last touch off Nicolaitis. South throw, another long throw, you'd suspect.
And there's a legend of South Melbourne, Josh, Jimmy Armstrong. What a man, what a legend. And he's respected throughout the Victorian football community.
An all-star cast here today. Wallen's cross. Fall to Morgan Evans now. Drives it in low.
It's in!
Pat Langlois! He's got that knack of turning up in the box when you least expect it. And he adds another goal to his growing collection.
Just like a swing into the box and really caught everyone by surprise. I don't know whether that was a planned effort, but they all count.
Well, Morgan Evans just drove it into a dangerous area. Heidelberg were perhaps trying to play the South attackers offside, but they got it all wrong. No one marking the run of Pat Langlois, and he turned it home beautifully.
Definitely not offside. I mean, once that ball was played, it seemed quite behind the play there, and it was an easy finish in the end.
Might have been a botched offside trap from Heidelberg.
I don't know if they could have defended against that. The way it was driven in, I think it was meant to be a shot. It ended up being a cross.
Only Morgan Evans will know if it was an intended assist, but it's come off beautifully and slightly against the run of play, you might say. South Melbourne have the advantage.
1-0 and early on, and they're going forward again. Webb trying to whip it in, the back post. Sawyer, shot, and that was just wide. Oh my lord, that could have been really, really tough there for Heidelberg had that gone in.
It was Josh Wallen who hit it so sweetly. That was travelling some velocity, and I don't think that one was on time, but Brendan White had any chance. He was rooted to the spot.
No, there's certainly no hope there. I mean, he just hit so sweetly. And a great cross, though. Sawyer, good ball in again. And there's that man again, Webb. He swung and hope for the best there. Shot! And again, was deflection, and South get the corner, and really Heidelberg not defending quite well at the moment.
It was Josh Wallen again, you know. He can't believe he hasn't scored. He's had 2 balls dropped to him invitingly. He's hit them both perfectly. One is flashed wide, the other one deflected behind for a corner. And now South really starting to flex their muscle and dominate this affair.
Look at the numbers in the box there. Really making it hard for White. There is a lot of tall timber there. Not really helpful for the goalkeeper. And
that one won't count. Foul on the goalkeeper, Brendan White, as he had 2 hands on the ball when he was bumped.
No doubt that was a free kick, and they're going to keep using that. And really, I mean, the Heidelberg players, I think, really shouldn't be standing in front of their keeper because they're making it harder for him to get to the ball. Onus is on the goalkeeper to attack the ball there, and he can't attack the ball when there's 5 players in front of him.
Ivan Franjic, Ashton, always travelling wide.
A lot of experience there, Franjic. He's played some great football for Victory and for City as well.
City, Brisbane Roar, and a Asian Cup winning team in 2015 for the Socceroos.
Great asset for Katsakis to have up his sleeve, and he's still playing at this level, and good luck to him. It's great to see. 2 players there, Heidelberg players jumping with each other. They're going forward now, 2 on 2. Ball played, and a great effort there. Way, really, you'd have to say maybe should have done a little bit better with that.
He just put everything through it, and I think it took a deflection. It'll be a Heidelberg corner, but Ruben Way maybe took too long to line it up, gave the defender a chance to adjust and get in his way. Set piece chance for Heidelberg this time. Swung in by Owen Ashton. Referee spot foul in the crowded 6-yard box. South Melbourne free kick.
Crowd's built up, Josh, now. Certainly got at least 1,500 people here now, if not more.
Fair turnout. There's Clarendon corner standing on top of the hill on the far side as well. And quite a number gathered around the corner near the social club, and now the referee's got some sorting out to do.
Don't know if that was as harsh as it looked, to be honest with you.
Liram Almazi going down again. That's the second time. First incident was a yellow card for Milan Roberts. Referee is going into his pocket again, I think. card.
22 minutes gone here, and 2 yellow cards shown. 1 goal to South Melbourne, and we've had a couple of chances on either side above that for both teams. So we've had a bit of a sort of energetic opening from both sides here.
Absolutely, it's Josh Pinn, the player in the book. Forward side from Queensland.
South Melbourne go for that back post. White comes out and takes it like a trooper. The former Port Melbourne goalkeeper who went to the Raw and was a backup and played a few games also. Came down to the Burgers and fought out for a position with good old young Nick Harris, who really did quite well in the games that he's played, and pretty unfortunate for him not to maybe be in the sticks. But I'm sure the youngster will a lot more chances from George Katakis because he put in, and good on him. South Melbourne, Sawyer didn't get onto it as he would have liked, but it was worthwhile.
Still wasn't far away, you know, didn't quite catch it perfectly, but it's enough to have Brendan White scrambling across. As you mentioned, Brendan White, this is his second spell with Heidelberg. Initially came down in 2019. We've got a goal in the A-League semi-final, and it's one for the underdog, Adelaide United. Premier's Plate winners Melbourne City have taken the lead.
We're going to have one of those figures just like the other night. Heidelberg go forward. Really have to put the cat amongst the pigeons now. Good effort there. Play. And he gets a free kick. Toiled and toiled away there. And the referee said, yep, that was a free kick.
Assistance paying off.
And I mean, he has really tried to get in between that left flank there. Almazi is a big boy to sort of get past, and he's done it a couple of times. Now, I'm just wondering if it's worth the effort from this angle. You'd have to think the right footer is man to take it, and Aston.
It's a nice angle for Owen Ashton here. They've actually got a player lying down behind the wall to stop the free kick going underneath. Here's Owen Ashton, and it's too high.
Wasted effort, really. You've got to get it on target, son. From that close, if you don't really push the goalkeeper, you know, just needed to do better with that, especially being a goal down.
Disappointing end product from Owen Ashton.
I'm sure he wouldn't have been happy with that.
A fair few tall players in that South Melbourne wall, so maybe it's a difficult one to get up and over and back down again. That's Josh Pinn for Heidelberg. Ruben Way on the overlap. Tries the 1-2, and Liram Elmazi gets across to clear.
Pinn almost got in there.
Has already had one opportunity to score today. He was on the receiving end of that Kane Shepherd cross, first chance of the match, and forced a really good save out of Harvey Lopez from close range.
Sawyer, ball thumped forward and chested down, and intention for the keeper, but really, you can't have a go at Brendan White for that. He really had no chance to get to that. Cola to try and whip that ball in again.
3 runners at the top of the box here to aim for South Melbourne. Ball and
whipping
Brendan
ball
White.
again.
Brendan White didn't get there, you know, he was at full stretch.
That's a good ball in the box too. And shot from afar, easily mopped up there by Brendan White. Yeah, he was maybe a little late coming out for it. Just stoked about seeing how good this pitch looks. It's great.
It hasn't always been the case at Olympic Village, is it? At this point of the year, it's pretty chopped up and boggy.
Even in my early young years when I played here, this ground could have been like you'd have one good game and one good pitch, and then two or three bad pitches. You know, in the years, you know, it's dependent on the rain and what have you. But today, it's a picture.
I think they've completely redone the drainage here with the redevelopments, and it's just made it a much more consistent surface to survive the year's hard yards.
And, you know, it'll change the way the team plays too. I mean,
absolutely.
When you've got a great surface like this, you know, good football can be played on it. You're not going to worry about bumpy fields, and it's a nice wide pitch. Let's talk about some more construction being done here in order to make it even better. As McCullough goes forward again. Chance now for South Melbourne. Cut across. Oh, what a miss. Really should have done more with that. Sort of dived into it rather than place it.
Harry Sawyer just seemed to lose his balance at the crucial moment. The big man. He's in such goal-scoring form this season. You would have put your house at him scoring that.
And, you know, I think you said it earlier, could that come back and haunt them? I mean, really, South Melbourne have had gilt-edged chances there to go 2 up, and they've missed them twice. So, Heidelberg on the back foot at the moment. 30 minutes gone, and they really need to try and get back into this game. Fans not too happy about Mikola going down, and I must say it seemed like the Academy Award there was given for diving.
Well, he certainly drew the referee's attention to any contact that was there. Let's put it that way.
It was contact, yes, but maybe he accentuated it a little more.
Just a tad, but they give South Melbourne a good chance to deliver this out-swinging ball off Mikola's left foot, and they've got all of the tall timber forward once again. Yankovic is in there, Marshall, Sawyer, El Mazi, of course Pat Langlois, who tends to ghost into the box. Great delivery, Yankovic heads it across, and it's the top of the crossbar. For the second time today, South Melbourne have rattled the woodwork.
Tell you what, it's Russian roulette at the moment. And second time, as Josh said, that they've hit the bar, and really, Heidelberg need to get their defensive duties intact, because they're allowing, really, Mikola is absolutely running right at the moment, both sides of the ground.
You know, that's why I think it's slightly curious that Luka Ninkovic for Heidelberg is starting on the bench today, because even though he's a striker, of course, they could easily bring him back for set pieces to defend, and They're just short, one big body. Could have been useful in these situations. Now South Melbourne streaming forward again.
Slipping down at the vital moment.
Oh, we were raving about the playing surface, but we have had a few players slip over today, so maybe it is
maybe their footwear is. I mean, a lot of these people, a lot of these players sometimes wear the inappropriate footwear, as they say, and I mean, obviously the molded boots on a beautiful surface like this, but not sure whether there was any watering or anything of the ground initially. Might make it soft underfoot.
Here is Kane Shepherd. A little back heel to Ruben Way. He feeds it through for Owen Ashton. One-on-one with Yankovic. Early ball from Ashton.
Chance.
Not headed clear though. Can they get a shot away here, Heidelberg? It's a desperate slide from Jake Marshall.
Great
behind for a Burgers corner.
Absolutely brilliant defending. And you'd have to say that had that not been cleared, that was a straight shot on goal there. Would have created all sorts of drama for Lopez. Lopez isn't what you call the tallest goalkeeper in the league, but he's certainly agile.
He's got quite a spring as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Notice when he's preparing to save a free kick, he often crouches down quite low so he can spring off the turf. Curious technique, but it seems to work for him.
It's funny that South Melbourne, has he come down again?
There's a collision there.
Fair challenge there. South Melbourne and Bentley basically swapped goalkeepers in the end, didn't they?
Yes, indeed. Wonder who's got the better of that trade. Clark's had a pretty good season as well, although he did make a notable error away to Oakley where he let the ball bounce over his head.
But I mean, these things happen. Spoken from a goalkeeper myself. You know, unfortunate things, and that's part of the game. But you can be a villain 1 minute, and a hero the next. And you know, Pearce he had a pretty good season for South the year before, and yes, he has played well. Just a little mishap against Oakley. And that game there, Bentley Greens were very unlucky not to get a result.
Yeah, that was the game where they lost 3 strikers to injury the week before.
They still had a good game, but just couldn't finish.
Yeah, exactly. I think if it hadn't been for those injuries, they might be the third team really pushing the top 2 and contending. As it stands, they're a few points down, but long way to go.
Yeah, I'd have to say also, I mean, Port Melbourne lost their striker as South Melbourne go forward. And chance now. Shot! Oh, that's again skied too high. And you'd have to say that Wallen should have done better with that.
That's his 3rd chance today, and he's hit them all so sweetly. Head in his hands. Cannot believe the back of the net hasn't rippled for him yet. I have to feel for him. He's connected on each and every ball that's fallen his way. 2 have flashed just off target. 1 was deflected wide.
As I was saying earlier, Port Melbourne lost their striker, Duggan, to an injury for 6 weeks, and then they lost a couple of games, but they found their way again, and they deservedly are 3rd, and looking very disciplined and a good little side at the moment.
Yeah, very well coached under Adam Pittick, that's for sure.
Yes, and they got a good result yesterday, 1-0. Which puts them outright 3rd.
Here goes Josh Pinn for Heidelberg. Cuts inside Evans. Ball is overhit.
Deep.
That's Sale. That's a waste. Sailed out for a goal kick.
not much imagination with the way Heidelberg are playing at the moment. I mean, early on, that first 5 or so minutes, they looked very dangerous. But they've gone into their shell, and South Melbourne are clearly the dominant team at the moment.
Here is Haynes Shepherd. Picks
Chance
out
here.
Ruben Way.
Yes! It's in! Fantastic goal! Ruben Way. Josh, it's as I said, they need to do something, and they have. They've equalised.
In a flash, out of nothing. Ruben Way with a captain's goal. And they needed that, Heidelberg. The momentum was swinging against them. They were letting their heads drop.
Way found a way. Amazing stuff here as the Heidelberg fans scream out top of their lungs for that equaliser, and it came at a very good time. You know, we've got probably about 8 or so minutes to go, and just the tonic Heidelberg needed as they go forward again.
No matter which way the tide's turning, Ruben Way always gives you 100% effort and commitment. That's what they need from their captain. And he's totally swung the momentum of this game. And now they're full of confidence again, Heidelberg. It's laid off for Dom Fowler, blocked by Langlois. Great tackle, Nicolaitis, but Mikola looking to take the long throw quickly.
That's a big throw.
Could Sawyer be in?
Sawyer.
Battling.
Still Sawyer.
2 centre-backs on him.
Still Sawyer. He's got 4 players on him.
He's a handful, Harry Sawyer.
And really, the cavalry came and took the ball away.
It took all the King's horses and all the King's men to take the ball off Harrison Sawyer.
Sawyer's a big boy, and not even he could get control of that ball. I mean, screaming of the fans, but really that was clearly a free kick there.
Evans certainly caught late by Anthony Theodoropoulos.
A nice short Greek name there.
easy for you to say.
He could cut it short to Theo like Michael Theoklitos did.
Not while he's playing at Heidelberg. I think he's got...
No, I don't think his father would be too pleased.
Maybe if he ends up in the A-League, he might have to anglicise it, but not yet. Here goes Owen Ashton. Nicks the ball off Sawyer.
I think those years are gone now. I think having a long first name and second name is the in thing at the moment.
As it should be.
It's, I'm known as Arthur, but my real name is Athanasios. So
we can mix it up on the stream if you like.
yes. Well, actually, we've cut it short to Thanos. That's what I use when I play in my band Frozen Tears. So we try and make it a bit of both worlds.
And now it's Ruben Way's turn to attempt the long throw that we've seen several times this afternoon from Max Mikola. Both centre halves forward for this one. It's in long. Harjic couldn't get there. Now Sawyer lays it off for Wallen. Nicolaitis sends it wide for Ruben Way. Onto the edge of the box. He's intercepted by El Mazi. Ashton loses out to the bigger body in Harry Sawyer. And now Alan Webb looks to turn on the Jets.
It's like a freight train trying to get through there. And Heidelberg in the last 5 or so minutes are pushing numbers forward quickly, and that's what's given South Melbourne a few headaches. They're using their flank, especially on this grandstand side, quite well, and Pin has caused a few headaches there.
Just whether they can get on the end of one of their deliveries from wide areas, because it's all well and good getting the ball down the flanks, but if South Melbourne have got 3 towering defenders in the box, you've got to be smarter with your delivery.
Yeah, no doubt, has to be played on the deck. That's what Oakley did against them, and to great success. Great defending there, super defending there, and Webb couldn't go through. He's everywhere at the moment. He's scoring goals, he's defending.
Absolutely running this left flank, isn't he? Probably been the best on ground so far today.
No doubt. You are aware, Josh, that my band Frozen Tears has written anthems for both of these teams, which I'm quite proud of. Initially it was South Melbourne in 96, and in 97 we did one for the Warriors, which I'm quite proud of. So, and funnily enough, the teams still play those songs today.
That's fantastic. Got a foot in both camps then.
Listen, it's all about the football, really. And obviously, I've got a love for both of these teams, being of Greek heritage, and some great friends that I've made here, and the people, and you know, it's part of my DNA, to be quite honest with you.
Well, that's what the NPL is all about, isn't it? That community spirit. Ball from Fowler. Marshall heading away. Webb can only clear it as far as Ivan Franic. Nicolaitis. Way leaves it short, and Langlois takes over. Wallen slides in late. And now free kick does go against South Melbourne eventually. And in the A-League semi-final, Melbourne City has levelled things up. Marco Tilio scored to cancel out Zach Clough's goal, so as it stands, that one's heading to extra time in the second leg at Amy Park.
And Adelaide's done quite well to get in, to cause some dramas there for the city. And can Heidelberg get something from this?
Big head clash there. Jankovic is down on the deck. Heidelberg fans aren't best pleased.
We're playing time added on now here at the Village, and 1-1 here, and we've had a pretty entertaining half.
It's been great value, hasn't it? Chances at both ends. Plenty of shots, saves. South Melbourne hitting the crossbar twice. And a very eventful Greek derby so far.
And you know, the thing is, this is the traditional 3 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday, which is something that doesn't normally happen. And I mean, a spectacular day and a very healthy crowd. You really can't ask for more. Souvlaki meat, you know, being cooked on that in that tent area there, and you can't help but think after this game we're heading straight for the the food vans.
You better believe it. Heidelberg find a goal to take them in front before half-time. Here's Owen Ashton. Lobs the early ball up to Pin. Heads it down, but it's wide and no one there to follow up. Does feel like stepping back in time when you visit Olympic Village, doesn't it? They got that traditional 3 p.m. Sunday Arvo kickoff, the Savlaki smoke wafting across the ground.
And you know, the good thing is, like I said to you, the way the ground's configured now, it's a lot better visually as well.
Adam Babka.
Half-time's given here. Josh, what did you think?
Well, it was a very eventful half. Heidelberg started like a freight train, and they copped the goal slightly against the run of play. Pat Langlois turning home that low fizz delivery from Morgan Evans. The the shot turned cross, I should say. Pat Langlois getting on the end of it, and then followed a period of real South Melbourne pressure to try and double their advantage. Josh Wallen had a few chances. Twice they hit the crossbar. Heidelberg managed to find a response through their inspirational captain, Ruben Way, who's just been everywhere today. And that makes the second half very interesting. It's poised beautifully here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see you for the second half after a little break. And join us for some, hopefully, as entertaining second half as the first.
Halftime score is 1-1 here. We'll sign off and catch you again in 15 minutes.
Crossbar twice and scoring early on, but Heidelberg in the latter half of that second half really brought themselves back into it. So, Josh, the second half looks like very mouth-watering.
Certainly does, Arthur. This is delicately poised at 1-1. South Melbourne with a real task on their hands. They would have been expected to win this game based on form. Heidelberg have lifted for a big match against their old rivals. Adam Babka about to get us back underway.
And as we speak, City have gone up 2-1. McLaren has scored in the 92nd minute of extra time.
Start with the long diagonal from Marko Jankovic.
South seem to be a little guilty of those deep balls at the moment, and I don't think they're getting enough purchase from them. Can't rely on the deep balls to Sawyer every time. There has to be some variation.
Yeah. otherwise they'll be too predictable.
And
Now that will be a card for Josh Wallen. Studs up on Ivan Fronic as Fronic followed through on that long pass.
yeah, no doubt. And just a little cheerio to a mate of mine and a player well known to both South Melbourne and Heidelberg, a player that played for both sides, John Canasoulas, who is listening and watching the game. And a big hello to him. And a very well decorated player for both these two great teams. John playing for South Melbourne in that championship team in '83, and then coming to Heidelberg and playing over 150 plus games for Heidelberg also, and captaining the side. He's one of those elite players that have played for both these clubs and with great distinction. South Melbourne going forward now. Sawyer, back heel, really trying to look for Mikola, but a little bit too hopeful there.
Heidelberg nearly the architects of their own demise, that giveaway, but here they come through Josh Pinn. Sawyer was waiting, never got to him. Now it's the goal scorer, Ruben Waite, with the feet of Kane Shepherd.
Good defending there.
Good block on that shot.
2-on-1 now.
Even when he's outnumbered, Harry Sawyer has a knack of keeping the ball.
And really, that's what you want him to do. A big boy like that, holding the ball up, getting numbers forward.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play
George Katsakis would have told his troops, continue on with the way you ended that half. And they're trying to do that, but South Melbourne really seem to have a purpose at the moment. They've come out a little more out of the traps this half.
Attempted overhead kick from Langlois there, I think. Didn't quite make contact.
Esteban Quintas would have told his troops to try and assert their authority again, as they did for the bulk of that first half. You can see there's a little more urgency in South Melbourne's play, but it's a good little tussle at the moment.
Short from Brad Norton. Ashton's chip into the path. Yankovic as it turned out. Goes down, looking for the cheap free kick, and he won't get it.
Little bit too much there. Initially he might have gotten it, but then having control of the ball, he probably should have done better than that. No, big throw now. No, opts for the wide ball. Fronic trying to find a way. Whips it in, cleared away. Not a great clearance there. Urgency getting the ball forward.
Feel for handball against Liram El Marzi. He goes down, doesn't get the free kick he was looking for. Ruben Way out to Ivan Franic. And now Kane Shepherd puts this one in early.
Still in.
Knocks it back for Ruben Way. Here's Anthony Theodoropoulos. It's blocked by Almazi. Wallen into the challenge on Nicolaides. Pass two. Bodies flying everywhere. Still going. Dion Nicolaides. Balls to Ruben Way! Oh, just over the crossbar.
Great effort.
Took a touch on the way through. Almost had his second of the afternoon.
Effort. Again, as I said, we're treated to some really good football at the moment, and now Heidelberg looking dangerous. Few ebbs and flows to happen yet. South Melbourne going forward. Still South. Shot. And that's a good save there by White. He really wasn't expecting it. And he got down sharply to his right. And South Melbourne, a shot straight after Heidelberg, missing a close chance there. Josh, end-to-end stuff here.
Absolutely.
Kind of stuff that brings back the crowds.
Should do. Very entertaining game so far. Just for a moment, thought the shot might squirm under Brendan White, but he did enough.
Body behind the ball. It's come out. Purchased it. Quite quite surprised they've allowed Brendan White to wear purple in the backdrop of the blue, to be honest with you.
He tends to blend in that 6-yard box on those set pieces, doesn't he?
Yeah, when you look from a distance there, I mean, obviously there is a difference, but normally they ask for a sort of non-clashing type colour, and they're both pastel-y type colours.
They do have an orange keeper kit as well, South Melbourne, I believe. So, haven't brought it with them today.
Well, that's the Heidelberg keeper we're talking about.
Well,
Brendan's probably, if he's anything like me, I was superstitious.
has to wear the same one.
Didn't like wearing different jumpers if I had performed well or won in the jumpers.
It's an injury concern here for Ruben Way now. It'll be a sickener to lose their captain after he's played so well.
Definitely been the outstanding player for the Heidelberg Warriors.
Looks as if Alan Webb, who just had a stray boot, totally accidental. Ruben Way sort of just running into the high foot. Maybe it's done some damage.
Let's hope he's okay. Looks like could be a change. Come on, for Wade. Judia Thrashatat has come on for Way, and Heidelberg losing the ability of their great captain and playmaker and goal scorer due to injury. Deep ball into the box. Lopez easily mops up.
Chudi Athargiath. Here's the introduce. Heidelberg fans, not best pleased. Some of the refereeing today, but it is Chudi Athargiath who's come across to Heidelberg from Bentley Greens. Had a stint at Ballarat City as well, where he came through the youth ranks.
Okay.
He's quite a tricky customer when he gets on the ball, loves to dribble.
That was a free kick, definitely there.
Very different style of player to Ruben Waite.
George Katsakis have to rearrange the troops there to try and continue some sort of rhythm for his side. South Melbourne go forward in the box and easily mopped up there by White.
Looking like a classic 4-4-2. Athargiath has moved on to the right, and Owen Ashton out to the left where Ruben Way was strutting his stuff. Here he is, Athargiath. Good challenge from Wallen. Sawyer hustling and bustling. Fedorhajic manages to head away to Franjic. It's pumped long, Jankovic. Athargiath's first touch wasn't good enough. And now it's sprayed wide by Almazi, forces Brendan White off his line to collect.
Seems like South Melbourne have playing the ball forward to Sawyer. Sawyer's always got at least two defenders on him at all times. So another looks like a substitution for South Melbourne now.
It will be Jai Ingham to come on for Josh Wallen. Had his chances today, 3 of them in the first half. Came very close to scoring South's second goal of the afternoon. Not his day today.
Jai Ingham, another ex-Victory player, and a lot of experience coming on the park now.
I wonder if that'll mean a slight reshuffle for South Melbourne, or whether Ingham will play in that narrow number 10 role that Josh Wallen was occupying. It looks like initially it's a straight swap. More known for his ability as a winger, Jai Ingham, from his playing days at Victory and for that Hume City where he made his name in the FFA Cup.
Jankovic yanking that ball there pretty wide to nobody in the end.
Langlois gives Norton one to chase. Athargiath and going at full pelt to press him. Now Mikola tried to flick it over the head of Ivan Franjic, but got his ankles all wrong.
Mikola, one of the few mistakes he's made all day.
It's been very good for South, not just today, but throughout the season. Excellent recruit. One of the big reasons why they've gone from mid-table mediocrity to title front runners.
Game's really in the danger time now, and both these sides trying to wrestle back the strength of the game, and at the moment it's pretty even.
As it stands at the top of the table, South Melbourne have a 3-point advantage over Oakley. 4 if this result holds, and 6 if they can get a win. But Oakley, of course, have that game in hand, that abandoned match on that wet night against Melbourne Knights.
Should be due to be played soon.
Will be rescheduled before long.
Probably a midweek game.
Athargiath goes from distance, way off target, but he's keen to make an impact, Chudi Athargiath.
Great effort from the youngster.
Very enthusiastic introduction.
Referee calls the trainer on. Not sure if it's Norton or a bit of an injury.
Here's Brad Norton, who's being tended to and being walked off. So
both captains could be
not sure if that's a recurrence of an existing injury or whether there might be a blood rule here, but I think from Brad Norton's body language, it looks like he's taken off the armband and he'll be having an early shower.
Norton looks like must have might even be a hamstring issue.
He just looks to be walking quite gingerly. Gone off with his own steam, which is a good sign, but you see the disappointment on his face. Maybe he knew he was carrying something going into the game.
And I've just got a message from Aki and us from the Cannons. The catch-up game on Tuesday, the 24th of May, which is this Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. So get yourself down to Knights Park there to see the Cannons and the Melbourne Knights, which is a very important game for both sides.
Glad I got you with me today, Arthur. You've got all the connections.
Yeah,
Intel coming through.
Thanks to Aki, the man who knows it all at the Cannons. He's a jack of all trades there. He's an absolute thesaurus. Big hello to all the people down that way, the Cannons, and also my team in the State League, Chisholm United, who had a great victory the other day against Waverley Wanderers, another Greek derby.
There you go. It's all happening this weekend.
Top of the table there with Anthony Barbieri being the coach of our team, which is amazing in itself.
Here goes Thargieth. Can't quite get the better of Morgan Evans. They're wrestling here, a bit of shirt pulling going on. 6 to one and half a dozen to the other, it looked like.
And as I said earlier, we've got 3 players on Sawyer at all times.
That's what it takes.
You'd have to say, where are those 3 South Melbourne players? Because you've got 3 players on one. There have to be 2 spare midfielders somewhere.
So just to clarify those changes for South, they made a double swap. So the injured Brad Norton goes off. On comes Ben Jeeba, and in midfield they've made a change as well with Marcus Schroen coming on, and Liram Elmazi, it looks like, has gone to the bench.
And you know, Schroen is always a handful.
Got a great left foot, Marcus Schroen, and plenty of experience. Long-serving player at South.
Scored a great effort! And that was just wide. What a super effort that. And out of nowhere there, Josh.
From a long way out to Owen Ashton, searing hit into the side netting, and for a moment the home fans thought they were in front the way the net rippled.
Wrong side of the net. That gone in, I tell you what, would have been up for goal of the year.
Free kick goes Marko Jankovic's way, and that's not a popular decision.
I've got to say though, the referee's had a good game. He's had a pretty good game.
He's one of the most experienced in the Victorian competition, Adam Bavker. He's got some A-League officiating under his belt now as well.
Been quite impressed. He hasn't wavered, and in a derby like this, there's a lot of emotion and elation from all supporters, and he hasn't really wavered at all. He's just done his game.
few yellow cards handed out, but it hasn't been too card happy either. Let the game flow. It's been a really entertaining one so far. Max Mikula. Headed out to Theodoropoulos. Shepherd flicked on. Jeeba's header. Webb up for it. Fowler in there as well. Heidelberg throwing on the far side.
Theodoropoulos has been a little quiet this half.
Get him on the ball a little bit more often as he scraps for it on the deck and ends up coughing up possession. Reinforcements in midfield now, South. They'll have plenty of extra legs and energy in there.
Game's sort of gone into a bit of a lull.
And a yellow card for Marcus Schroen for that late challenge.
I mean, that game, the referee's on top of it. He's on top of it.
I think Heidelberg were calling for the advantage, but there was just no way that Josh Pinn was getting there ahead of the goalkeeper. There's no way advantage was accruing there. I think Adam Babka has got it spot on again.
Some passionate vintage Heidelberg supporters here.
We've even got a Collingwood beanie in front of us. Collingwood Warriors, that's a throwback.
Yeah. Yeah, big throwback. The 1 year they were in existence. A few opinions given there from some passionate Heidelberg supporters. And it's like I'm listening to an excerpt from Walk Boys 3.
You can say it, I can't.
Yeah, the politically correct society we live in today.
So we've got an injury concern here for Heidelberg. Physio out, running some tests, and back down on the deck goes Owen Ashton.
Possibly another substitution.
Yep. Substitution being prepared. It will be Luka Ninkovic to come on. And he's a real handful in the air. A similar vein to Harry Sawyer.
George Katakis having a chat there. Need to have, it looks like the stretcher's coming off.
Yeah,
coming on, which is not a great thing.
Real concern here for Owen Ashton. They tried to help him up before and back down he went. And it looks like they're supporting his neck. So that's a real worry. We've really got our fingers crossed here for Owen Ashton that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay, and it's only a precautionary thing.
He looks to
Had
be
a good game.
He's had a great game and nearly scored that spectacular goal a few minutes
Kaya
ago.
ada manis-manis.
Scorching drive there. And let's wish him all the best, and hopefully he'll be okay.
For a sight you like to see Owen Ashton stretch it off, surrounded by teammates. Ninkovic takes off the bib.
Yep.
We'll have two big men up top for Heidelberg now. Josh Pinn and Judy Athargia will run the flanks, I imagine, and Luka Ninkovic up top with Kane Shepherd. Shepherd, it's a classic 4-4-2.
Shepherd's had a few goals to his name in the last few weeks. As the sun's setting, shadows on the ground, cleared away. Sawyer. Still Sawyer does really well. And that was a free kick in. Tackle from behind. Players going forward. The referee tells everyone, I've got it under control.
Opportunity for Mikola to put this one into the box. Angle that favours the left foot. Max Mikola.
Might over the ball as well. Might be a little short pass to Ingham.
I'm seeing them try this sort of routine before Ingham will run down the left flank and you see he's ready to go.
Yeah.
In fact, they do go for the direct delivery. Sawyer's up for this header. Langlois can't quite get there. Webb centres it.
Cleared away.
Morgan Evans did enough. Now here's Jake Marshall in nosebleed territory for a centre-back. He cuts it back. And now it's Jai Ingham trying to weave his way through the narrowest of gaps, but Feta Hajic manages to get a foot on the ball.
Gitu coy nih kikis kuliah nih.
They've made a game of this and they've really done well.
Wih sadis sih.
Here goes
Pakai
Mikola.
tangga ini. Belum sih. Apa nih?
Mention your friends down at Oakley, they'll be loving this.
Orin apa sih itu spot kok?
Absolutely. And, as we were talking before, there's a chance that gets whipped in. Chance that the Cannons might be lifting the 2021 trophy after next week's results.
Indeed. Yankovic.
Don't ask me how that has occurred, but I've been told there's some tribes and tribulations been decided by the Federation, and they've worked out after a certain amount of games and points being given that the winner of the 2021 championship will be given, and at the moment, going by the ladder, the Cannons are on top of Avondale. And I think if they get another 3 points, they will be crowned champions for last year. With this year's results,
2 trophies on offer, even before we get to the finals. Unprecedented times we live in. Oh, it's Mikola who opts for the cross. Lovely header from, it was Jake Marshall. Climbed up.
we've had some crazy times in the last 2 years, and 2.5 years for that matter, and some crazy and things, and it's like science experiment, and we're finally going to get the product coming out of it.
Just relishing the football that we took for granted for so long. So many fans have come out today to enjoy it.
It's a really good, healthy crowd here at the village.
Can either of these sides find a decisive goal? That's the question. Locked at 1-1. Pat Langlois and the now substituted Ruben Way, the first half goal scorers. A couple of injuries picked up by both sides of 4 substitutions. Fingers crossed for Owen Ashton, who was stretched it off a few minutes ago. Be Ivan Franic to swing this one in for the Burgers. It's Luka Ninkovic. It's cleared off the line.
Really should have put that away. Chance gone begging.
Theodoropoulos sends it in early. Drops to Ivan Franic. Might like to curl one from distance. Took too long to set himself. And Ben Jeeba was able to block. Milan Roberts flicking that one on. Ninkovic, substitute. Shepherd gets to the challenge second and gives up the free kick. Foul on Ben Jeeba.
Oi benar hen hotio kono senta. Balanjut lagi sehingga kota. Sehingga ni mesin.
Yeah, on about 3 or 4 minutes of extra time. It's going to be quite exciting past 20 or so minutes.
Especially that lengthy one. While the stretcher was brought on. We could get even more than that in terms of stoppage time. Lodies heads away. Chris Irwin is on for South Melbourne. Alan Webb has gone to the bench.
Sort of petered out of the game at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, he had some moments in the first half, Alan Webb, but
Ni aku je apa
really
Indra?
not going.
Kunci office. Kau ni ada tadi.
I've always felt
Ni. Oh.
Alan Webb was better served playing
Hah?
as a second
Oh.
striker rather than a winger. His movement
Aja
is
bisa
very
main keren tu.
explosive, but he doesn't have the outright searing pace
Hah?
of players like Jai Ingham or Andy Brennan or Max Mikla.
Kunci oi. Oh office. Hah?
In the end, it was
Tengok
Josh
macam.
Wall who was favoured with
Mama
that role
ni apa
today.
apa apa apa.
and
Bahasa
they were
Inggeris tu
rewarded.
ni.
He had a few chances to fall in his direction.
Tu memang main kunci aku tu.
Couldn't find the back of the net.
Mu apa bagus mu. Kau bagus. Bahasa
Ivan Franic,
Inggeris.
anywhere will do. Big boot upfield. South bench up in arms over that one. They felt
Certainly wasn't a free kick.
Ni ai Choco
rightly
bukta.
played on there.
Adam Bavka not being fooled. Now here's
Franic, can he turn it in?
Harvey Lopez. There's always that proactive keeper coming off line, isn't he? He's so agile.
And Sawyer just slipped over there like he got
Giving
sniped
love
from
someone.
just out of the blue. And no doubt there is a bit of a slippery surface.
Players get tired. It's a raking look.
Score that second goal. The home side are really causing trouble there for South Melbourne.
The roof has just about come off the grandstand here at Olympic Village. This place has gone bananas. Fought tooth and nail for this today, Heidelberg. Against the league leaders. And this is a turn up for the books. This is a big upset in the think.
It's like we're at a Kiss concert. As I was saying earlier, Josh, it does not matter where you are on the table. They always bring out the best in both teams, these derbies. And at the moment, Heidelberg are 2-1 up with 10 minutes of normal time left on the clock. Can they hold on?
Never count out a George Katsakis team. That's the lesson.
And at the moment, Heidelberg are 2-1 up with 10 minutes of normal time left on the clock. Can they hold on?
Never count out a George Katsakis team. That's the lesson. They can look dead and buried in games, but they never give up.
South Melbourne now, they're going to throw everything forward. Chance again. Not a great ball at all. Not a good defending clearance either. Kovic. Shepherd loses the ball.
Substitution for Heidelberg.
Lopez not too happy about that. Now that man in the back post, Franich all alone.
Well, he ran all the way from right back. It was a lung-busting run. He was the player who initially played the switch from behind halfway out to Kane Shepherd on the far side, and the veteran Ivan Franjic made that lung-busting run all the way back from the defensive line into the box, and no one tracked him.
And we did say that experience has shone through today.
I think that's Joey Franjic who's been introduced. Theodoropoulos coming off.
Any relation to...
Brothers, in fact.
That's a tremendous effort. Bit of brotherly love.
That's in the twilight of both their careers, Joey and Ivan, but they want to spend the twilight years together. Fantastic to see them both strutting their stuff in Olympic Village.
One chap that I love here when I come to Heidelberg is the chap that runs up and down the line. His name escapes me. Lovely guy, and he's running up and down the line there, as you can see him, and he's calling, screaming out to his team. There he is there.
He's really living every kick of the ball, isn't he?
He's one
The
of the
emotion.
most loveliest, passionate Heidelberg supporters I know.
You're getting some decent cardio out of that.
Probably the fittest as well.
Mikola's
In the
ball in.
box, and that'll be a goal kick, I think.
Yeah, last touch of Marko Jankovic, and he's so frustrated he couldn't put that on target.
And what did we say earlier? Those misses that South had in that first half could come back and bite them, and at the moment, that is the story that's about to be told.
That's it.
As the sun is setting and the ground is bathed in a shade. Sun is shining right on us, Josh, as if we're the chosen ones.
Heidelberg might be the chosen ones today. It's all come together for them at the right moment. South Melbourne
to the box.
desperate to get something out of this game.
And the Cannons, ugly Cannons will be...
They'll have the chance to draw.
You'd have to say to Chris Taylor's men, they great ball in the box, and that is a quality take there.
Jankovic flicked that one on. Jankovic playing it in defeat of Marcus. card. I don't think he would have been booked otherwise. Some push and shove going on inside the box as Adam Bafka gets his paperwork done.
Really important. 2 minutes to go here.
And now a yellow card for Marko Jankovic. And one for Ivan Franic as well for their role in the melee. Maybe the assistants involved in picking out those players to kick things off. Now Bafka going across to the bench. Could be a card for George Katsakis.
Goal scorer injured, yellow cards, slide tackles. One with a lot here.
Pretty sickening collision, that one. Concussion protocols. That'll be a really sore one tomorrow.
Heidelberg Warriors supporters here sensing 3 points. And we're playing time at it for... Haven't been shown how many more minutes are left on stoppages. Haven't been shown how many more minutes are left on the clock just yet.
Both sets of fans. Had lengthy injury stoppages, so that's probably why.
Once again.
Here's Josh Pinn. Tom Fowler sends it back to Franic. Seems to be okay to continue. Thargieth. Luka Ninkovic wants the long diagonal. Thargieth opts to dribble.
He's had a good game, the youngster, after he's come on.
Nicolaides across the can't beat the first defender on the edge of the box. It's a tough ask replacing Ruben Way, but Thargieth has had some good moments, that's for sure. Here goes Franic again. He's been outstanding in this second half. Ninkovic will keep this one in play. Defenders missed it. Trowan cleaning up for South Melbourne. Jankovic to the feet of Ingham. Never really controlled it. Was trying to help it on to Harry Sawyer, but there's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. Can we sort that out? Jankovic, Ingham, Trowan, out to Jeeba. Jinks past Shepherd. Shepherd gets back to block it and send it behind for a South Melbourne corner. Now pile bodies into the box again. Max Mikola with the in-swinger.
Keeper's done well again. Brendan White really has stood tall this half. Maybe he'd be close to getting some votes from me.
Absolutely.
Without being too biased.
Marshall and Thargieth coming together. Marshall will try and run that one off and not make too much of a fuss. Doesn't have time for another injury stoppage. Langlois. Irwin for Schroen. Good sliding challenge from Josh Pinn.
been playing 94 minutes. Going by the clock here.
Long ball forwards, looking for Mikola. Fedorhajic heads away. Ingham playing ball boy. They'll give it up to Mikola to send it long again. He's a long way out with this throw in. He can hurl it a great distance. This is a big test. Decent distance on that one. Milan Robbins meets it. Now Yankovic with a bit of space. Opposite for the chip. Sawyer flicks it on. And again, it's a good take from Heidelberg's goalkeeper, Brendan White, who's held everything in this second 45.
Solid body behind the ball.
Heidelberg fans want the final whistle. It's not coming yet.
Still 2 minutes left of extra time.
Poor pass, Yankovic. It's a silly giveaway. A tired giveaway.
Some bit of acrobatical work there by the youngster.
Franich will send this down the line. Last touch of Josh Pinn. In fact, it's a free kick for the high foot. Out to Evans.
Can Heidelberg hang on? And you'd have to say this second half they've deserved it.
Absolutely have.
They've really been a good unit, solid unit. South Melbourne are staring down the barrel of the second loss of the season.
Mikola ran out of room. Goal kick. Fans are really up and about for this one, as you can probably hear.
Last minute.
Adam Babka telling Brendan White to hurry up. Ninkovic wins the flick on. Langlois gets a foot in, so does Marshall. Big challenge by Ninkovic. Thought he got the ball. Instead he gets a yellow card.
Everyone's going to get into the box. Could this be the last chance for South Melbourne? Deep ball in. Cleared away. Free kick to the Burgers. You'd have to say that is about it, Josh.
It's up to Adam Babka now. Played 7 minutes of stoppages. This is a huge upset. Heidelberg can hang on for just a few moments. South goal kick.
Can't be much longer to go.
Adam Babka checks his watch.
I think after this kick it's all about, just about over.
Maybe one more passage of play. Mikola. That's it!
It's all over.
Heidelberg have done it against the odds. Ivan Franjic is the hero. This has been a marvellous team performance today. They've worked so hard for it.
And I did say a few weeks back, bounce back, and they have. And this is a